It's coffee time. Who's this? Who's this little butt? Who's this little butt? Sometimes when I can see them in the webcam, I like to do this, like poke them and hope that they'll move. Wouldn't it just be amazing if I was like, hey, and then she left? Be like, how did she know? How did she know that I was poking her butt? Ah! Oh, dang it. Oh, well, missed opportunity. Next time. Next time, guys. So my mommy and my sister are gone. Went back to Palm Desert. I love them. And mommy took a selfie with me, so it's all okay. My sister took a picture of us taking a selfie and then sent it to my nieces. Oh, good times. Good times at brunch, guys. But, yeah, I spent my morning with them. And then we all got gassed together and then went our separate ways. And then I came home and tried to fix that thing with the gameplay video again and just got so frustrated I wanted to scream. And eventually gave up and made news instead, which, in my humble opinion, has the best intro so far. Of the three intros that I've done so far. Every time I talk to Danny and he's like, so what do you want the next intro to be? I tell him something ridiculous and he, at this point now, he's like, are you just trying to like one up it every time? Do you just want to like kill me? I'm like, no, it's just the intros. They're so fun. So what I'm trying to say is you should probably go and watch my latest news video. Because it's going to be pretty dope. Guys, this is twice in a row now where I have either bought or just downloaded a game. An indie game, to be fair. But second time in a row that I've downloaded a game, and then when I try to open it, I immediately get an error, like a script error. I don't know what that is. The first one was Social Caterpillar. I got that game, and I was really excited to play it, and then there was a script error. Fortunately, I actually tweeted the developer and got the answer. So I was like, oh, good. There was a thing that I needed to download onto my computer, and it didn't make that very clear on Desura. But then today, a game called Dreaming Mary was suggested to me. So I was like, this game looks interesting. It's like short and has multiple endings. That's, that sounds like a fun, quick thing to play. So I downloaded it, and when I click on it to open, it just sits there. Like, literally nothing happens. Normally, if it's gonna crash, like, it at least looks like it's trying to open a thing, and then it's like, I can't. It acts like I didn't even click on it. I don't know. Like, why? Why does this happen? I'm just trying to play small, awesome games. But the universe won't let me. But on the plus side, just got done making artichokes. And then I'm going to swing by the store and grab some ground beef. And then Sam and I are going to make dinner and watch Game of Thrones. Very excited. Apparently, found this out. Apparently, Parmesan cheese has the highest protein content of any other cheese. Because when Sam was talking about how he wants to, like, eat more protein. And he was like, so that means I'll have to eat cheese. I don't have to eat cheese, but I should be eating cheese. And I was like, oh, I guess cheese does have protein. That makes sense. And then I went to look up what cheeses have lots of protein. Who knew? Parmesan has 10 grams of protein per protein cheese. What kind of cheese is good for high protein? 10 grams of protein per ounce. Most other cheeses contain an average of 6 to 7 grams, like cheddar, brie, Gouda, blue cheese, or mozzarella. Do not rely on cheese spreads, for they do not have the higher protein content. Cottage cheese and ricotta cheese do not boost your protein intake because these foods have some of the lowest protein content with less than 3 grams of protein per ounce. Also, the longer a cheese is aged, the lower carbohydrates it'll have, or whatever. I just read that just now. I didn't read that before because I didn't care. But I just now read that, so I figured, since we're Googling together. And then I wound up in this weird YouTube vortex where I was watching Cooking with Dog. Have you guys ever watched Cooking with Dog? It's like one of the first shows that I ever watched on YouTube. It's old. It's so old, and the older videos are old. They're like hard to watch kind of old. But man, I love that show. It's literally this adorable little Japanese woman, like an old Japanese lady with a dog next to her, and a man voices over a narrator voice for the dog, and then she cooks the food, and he like narrates what she's doing. It's so cute, and at the end she eats the food, and she always looks so cute and happy. I'm just like, you make me want to make the food. Like, even if the food looks kind of gross, watching you eat it and like smile and laugh because you feel weird with the camera in your face is like so cute. I can't handle it. Cooking with Dog. You should totally watch it because it's great. And those are my feelings. Man, you know how... Here's the thing that'll make you not want to eat dinner. You know how people say that when you have cats long enough, you start to enjoy the like weird ammonia smell of their urine? Apparently that's a thing. We've talked about that before on this show and whether or not that's true. And I honestly can't remember from our searches whether or not that's true. But I can say for a fact, either way, true or not, I can say for a fact, I love cats, but that smell makes me want to just roll over. Like, it's the worst smell in the world. I went to scoop poop today, and there was just a wave. Like, most of the time when you scoop the litter box, it clumps up really nicely. But once the litter has been in there for... Crash course in cat litter, in case any of you have never had cats, which I'm sure there are some of you who have never had cats. So, once the remaining litter has absorbed a little bit of urine, it doesn't clump anymore. So when you go to scoop like where the pee is, it's just a bunch of wet litter, and it's gross. And that's when the ammonia smell releases into the atmosphere. So sometimes you'll be scooping your litter, right? And you'll go for a pee area. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get this big old pee area. And the second you uncover it, there's just a wave of that smell, and it's the grossest thing in the world. It's so nasty. I can't handle it. I had this friend in elementary school who had her parents hoarded cats. I didn't realize it at the time as a child, but looking back, I'm like, oh my God, you had like 20 cats in that house. But I went to visit her one time. I think I only went to her house once because her house like super creeped me out. But I went to her house, and in her room was just this like mountain of clothes up against the wall. And I was like, what's this? Why do you have your clothes up against the wall? I was like 8. I was like, what? Why? And she goes, oh, that's all clothes the cats have peed on. And I was like, oh. And then I smelled them, and it smelled like that. And now every time I get that wave, that gross cat wave, I think of that moment, like the first moment I truly experienced that cat smell and how gross it is. Because before that, I mean, like I've been telling you guys this whole week because I brought the cleaners in, my mom is very allergic to cats, and actually she's very allergic to all animals. Well, I won't say all animals. Like, the dander of most animals sets her off really badly. So, like, we could never have inside animals of any kind when I was a kid. Even when I had rats, when I would bring my rats home, even that was like not, my mom couldn't be around them. But rats also just kind of like smell. They're adorable, but they smell. So anyway, up until the point that I fostered cats, I had only ever experienced barn cats. That's all we had was like wild cats just hanging out. And then we had our dogs who were also outside. I will never forget. I used to have before I started this show, I used to have a dog named Jake. Jake was best dog in the world. He was part Australian Shepherd, part Border Collie. And he was the sweetest dog, like so eager to please, so wonderful, just like the best personality I've ever seen in a dog. And I miss him so much. But one time my dad was working outside and uncovered a bunch of kittens in a truck, I believe. I wasn't there. I wish I was there. He uncovered a bunch of kittens in a truck, and Jake like went up to them. My dad was a little bit nervous that he was gonna like hurt them, but Jake just like picked one up really tenderly, one that had like gotten away from the group, like picked it up really tenderly and put it with the rest of the group. Like when I heard that story, I was just like, that is the most precious thing I've ever heard in my life. Animals can get along. Animals with sweet dispositions will be sweet to animals, to like other animals, you know? I miss having dogs. But I love big dogs, you know? Like, obviously, I love pretty much every dog that I've ever met has been, like, adorable and sweet, and I've loved them. But I enjoy big dogs more, if I was going to say I have a preference. So I don't want to get a dog until I have, like, a nice big yard that the dog can run in and have fun and be free, etc. So, man, I need to take off this nail polish. It's so gross now. I've been picking at it so much, and it's, like, starting to look really dirty and gross. Ugh. Maybe I'll do that tonight. He'll bring nail polish remover over to the house. Be like, okay, baby, make dinner. I'm going to take off my nail polish. Sam's just like, ah. Oh, goodness. Okay, I should go do the dinner thing. But I hope you guys had an amazing day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Mwah.